German declension is the paradigm that German uses to define all the ways articles, adjectives and sometimes nouns can change their form to reflect their role in the sentence, subject, object, etc. Declension allows speakers to mark a difference between subjects, direct objects, indirect objects and possessives by changing the form of the word a euro, and or its associated article a euro instead of indicating this meaning through word order or prepositions. As a result, German can take a much more fluid approach to word order without the meaning being obscured. In English, a simple sentence must be written in strict word order. This sentence cannot be expressed in any other word order than how it is written here without substituting one word with a synonym. A transliteration of the same sentence from German to English would appear rather different and can be expressed with a variety of word order with little or no change in meaning. As a fusional language, German marks nouns, pronouns, articles, and adjectives to distinguish case, number, and gender. For example, all German adjectives have several different forms. The adjective new, for example, can be written in 5 different ways depending on the gender of the noun that it modifies, whether the noun is singular or plural, and the role of the noun in the sentence. English completely lacks such declensions, meaning that an adjective can be written in only one form. Modern High German distinguishes between 4 cases: a euro nominative, accusative, genitive, and dative a euro, and 3 grammatical genders: a euro feminine, masculine, and neuter. Nouns may also be either singular or plural. In the plural, one declension is used regardless of gender: a euro, meaning that plural can be treated as a 4th gender for the purposes of declining articles and adjectives. However, the nouns themselves retain several ways of forming plurals which often, but not always, correspond with the word's gender and structure in the singular. For example, many feminine nouns which, in the singular, end in e, like die raise, form the plural by adding n, die raisen. Many neuter or masculine nouns ending in a consonant, like das Blatt or der Baum, form plurals by a change of vowel and appending a or e, die Blaukcurrency tter and die Barkcurrency. Historically, these and several further plural inflections recall the noun declension classes of Proto-Germanic, but in much reduced form. Articles equals definite article equals, the definite article correspond to the English the. Equals indefinite article equals, the indefinite articles correspond to English a, an. Note: Ian is also a numeral which corresponds to English one. Ian has no plural. As in English, the plural indefinite article is void, as in there are cows in the field. Adjectival pronouns: certain adjectival pronouns also decline, like der, all, dies, jed, gen, manch, sulch, welch. These are sometimes referred to as der words. The general declension pattern is as shown in the following table. However, there is one exception: the definite article for the nominative and accusative neuter is not des, but das. Adjectival possessive pronouns and keen decline similar to the article in. The general declension pattern is as shown in the following table. For example, er is slightly irregular. When it has an ending, the e can be dropped and endings are added to the root er. For example, dative masculine erim. Nouns: see also German nouns declension for case. Only the following nouns are declined according to case. Masculine weak nouns gain an n at the end in cases other than the singular nominative. For example, der Student, des Studenten. The genitive case of other nouns of masculine or neuter gender is formed by adding s, for example, das Bild, des Bilds. Nouns in plural that do not already end in n or s gain an n in the dative case. For example, der Berg, die Berge, den Bergen. There is a dative singular marking e associated with strong masculine or neuter nouns, for example der Tod and das Bad, but this is rarely regarded as a specific ending in contemporary usage, with the exception of fossilized phrases, such as zum Tod verurteilt, or titles of creative works, for example Venus in Bade. In these cases, the omission of the ending would be unusual. Pronouns equals personal pronouns equals, genitive case for personal pronouns is currently considered archaic and is used only in certain archaic expressions like ich bedarf seiner. This is not to be confused with possessive adjectives. Note that and "si" can refer to any masculine or feminine noun, not just persons. When they refer to inanimate objects, they would be properly translated it. Interrogative pronouns equals. Generally, prepositions that need to be followed by either case merge with was to form new words such as avon, or wesigen. Relative pronouns equals. Possessive pronouns equals. Possessive pronouns are treated as articles in German and decline the same way as keen. See indefinite articles above. Demonstrative pronouns equals. These may be used in place of personal pronouns to provide emphasis, as in the sentence den Sieg. Also note the word ordering, den corresponds to that, and it corresponds to I. Placing the object at the beginning of the sentence places emphasis on it. English, as a generally non-declined language, does not normally show similar behavior, although it is sometimes possible to place the object at the front of a sentence for similar emphasis, as in, him I see, but I don't see John. The table is the same as for relative pronouns. Reflexive pronouns equals. Reflexive pronouns are used when a subject and object are the same, as in ich wasch mich, I wash myself. Indefinite pronouns equals. The pronoun man refers to a generic person, and is usually translated as one. It is equivalent to the French pronoun on. Attributive adjectives, predicate adjectives are undeclined. Attributive adjectives use the following declension patterns. Strong inflection equals. Strong declension is used when there is no preceding article. Here is an example. Note that the ending for genitive masculine and neuter is n. This is a source of confusion for learners, who typically assume it is is, and also native speakers, who interpret some of the less common definite articles as adjectives with no article, to be declined strongly. Weak inflection equals. Weak declension is used when there is a preceding definite article. All endings are n except the highlighted group, which are e. Mixed inflection equals. Mixed declension is used when there is a preceding indefinite article, or possessive determiner. Mixed inflection is the same as weak inflection, except highlighted suffixes that are the same as strong inflection. Non-declining geographic attributive words. Many German locality names have an attributive word associated with them which ends in er, for example Berliner for Berlin and Hamburger for Hamburg, which are not marked for case but always end in er. Die Berliner Mauer and das Brandenburger Tor are prominent examples of this. Note the er ending despite the neuter gender of the word Tor. If the place name ends in n, like gar paragraph tingen, the er usually replaces the terminal n. Notes and references. See also, Archaic Dutch declension.